It costs absolutely nothing to do this following method, nothing at all, and you can see results in the next 6 months. That's what happened to me, that's what happened to my colleagues, and that's certainly something that can happen to you. Welcome back, gentlemen. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how you can start to add an extra $1,000 to your monthly recurring revenue. Do make sure you stick to the end of the video because I'm going to be taking you through steps 1 to 5, and you can see this manifest into your reality in as little as 6 months with, again, the correct guidance. So the first thing we need to ascertain is who is going to pay us. Step 1 is who is going to be paying us an extra $1,000 a month. Now, this can lead you into many different areas depending on your maybe skills that you have at the moment. You may want to sell to the public audience, you may want to sell to the business sectors, you may want to sell to a specific market. But the idea you want to be thinking of before you start to, again, cultivate this audience is just that. Who is your target audience? Is it men that are primarily going to be paying you? Is it women? Is it a certain age group? Is it a certain demographic of people? And once you have this dialed down, you can start to pick apart what they need, what value can you start to add to their lives in order for you to, again, reap the benefits of those financial rewards. Step 2 is going to be, where are those people? So let's take the example of men, for example. Men are primarily my audience. Masculine theory is particularly geared towards men. I make it very obvious that I'm proudly excluding women from my target material. Not because I don't want to give them any value. It's just you have to proudly exclude in order to be direct with who you're targeting. So the next step is, okay, where do I find men? Where do I find these men to sell to? Of course, the internet is going to be a very powerful medium for you finding your particular target audience. It's going to be what platforms are primarily male dominant. For myself, Twitter and YouTube are very, very powerful platforms in order for me to find that particular niche and start to cultivate a little bit of trust. We're going to step 3 here, but you want to do your homework and look on the various different platforms like Instagram, which is primarily female, or Tumblr, again, which is primarily female, and you want to screen your platform heavily before committing to the next step, which is what I'm going to show you here. So step 3 is building credibility. Now, this is something that you can do with a free social media account. Again, this method requires no upfront costs on your end other than the fact of, hard work, cultivating a skill, and giving free value to those particular target audiences. So when I talk about building credibility and building some kind of authority, essentially you want to come at this from a perspective of what value can I give to that particular target audience. Take me, for example, what value can I give to men? It's, what do men value? Do men value fitness? I think men do value fitness. Do they value nutrition? Do they value some kind of spiritual guidance? Do they value ways in how to quit and mitigate any addictive habits? What other things in your target demographic do that particular audience value? Or another way to think of it is, what problems are they having? What keeps them up at night? What is giving them anxiety, stress, depression? And how can you provide them a resource or a solution that is going to mitigate said depression, anxiety, stress? So it's placing yourself as a valuable resource for that target audience and giving away freely information that is going to be resourceful to their lives. If you look through the history of my videos or the history of my tweets or my Instagram feed, it's just free information that I give out with no thought that I'm going to receive any kind of financial benefit from, because I genuinely want to improve the well-being and health, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, financially, of men that are my target audience. Which brings us on to, well, actually we've talked a little bit about step 4 already, but this idea is that you want to be, again, you want to be free with the information you're giving. You don't want to place it over a paywall, because you need to cultivate a certain amount of trust with that target audience, and you want to also be proud of the quality of work that you're doing, and you want to make sure that it's actually making a difference before you can start to think about monetizing it. YouTube has a great kind of natural way of showing this path. You can't monetize your YouTube channel until you hit 1,000 subscribers and a certain amount of watch hours, because YouTube doesn't it's going to place value on something when it's given the evidence. So you need to have the evidence that what you're doing is actually making a positive impact on people's lives. So I take the example of something like a pickup artist or a dating coach or somebody that's trying to help you with your relationships. Give out free advice to men on the internet who are struggling. Look on the forums where people are complaining and moaning all the time. It's usually places like Reddit or any other forums. Oh, my girlfriend cheated on me. How do I commit to cultivating more dates on a weekly basis? How to become a high value man, and all that other stuff. And you can start adding value there, your suggestions, your personal experience. How can you leverage that to give these men more opportunities? And then more and more people might start to follow you, engage with you, give you feedback, tell you how much that particular piece of advice worked or didn't work. And then from there, you start building up that reputation, that step 3, that credibility, that authority, that whatever X, Y, and Z said is the gold standard, or he's the go-to if you're having particular problems. And that's where you start to elevate your word, your writing, your platform above perhaps somebody else's. And last but not least, it's solving that major problem with a product or a service that you can actually monetize. So if you follow step 1 to 4, you have positioned yourself as an authority figure who has credibility, who's genuinely solved problems before without any, expectation of being financially benefited. And then step number 5 is, okay, if I'm giving you all this free content, videos, tweets, blogs, whatever it may be, hopefully now you would have built that trust for the person for a client or a customer or a follower to say, well, goodness me, if his work, his free stuff is giving me X amount of value, what's the paid stuff going to be like? So it's about building that reciprocity. The way I like to explain reciprocity is, if I give you something for free, you're going to feel indebted to me. And in a rather circuitous way, that's what I hope when I'm giving out free values in YouTube videos and Twitter. I want you to feel like these videos are valuable so that you feel a sense of trust in me, that the value is giving you something genuine back in your life, and you may be inclined to be interested in a paid service, which are in the links below, if you do feel that that value is something that you can support and you genuinely believe in. And that's how you want to position yourself. If you do all these things correctly, if you utilize social media platforms like Twitter especially, which is a lucrative model for growth, and anybody interested in growth models for Twitter, check the description below. It's called Digital Real Estate, and it's about, again, positioning yourself as that authority figure so you can leverage your audience, give value to people, and hopefully position yourself to where you can start reaping financial benefits. Again, everything is below. But gentlemen, this was a little detour into some entrepreneurial opportunities. It costs absolutely nothing to do this following method, nothing at all, and you can see results in the next 6 months. That's what happened to me, that's what happened to my colleagues, and that's certainly something that can happen to you. So please take everything what I have said here, apply it to your own skills, start to leverage, again, steps 1 to 5, and you can see amazing benefits. And again, that extra $1,000, of monthly recurring revenue very, very soon. So I hope this was valuable. I hope you subscribe to whatever I've said here, and you can subscribe to me, and I'll talk to you again very, very soon, gentlemen. Okay, take care.